Yeah, I started it.
It's 9 p.m.
Tell me what you see when you see it.
It says Fantastic Comics, buddy.
And on my face, right?
Oh, no. Let me mute this quick.
Wait, what are you muting?
My tablet.
Yeah.
What are you muting?
All right. We're not going to do the song tonight. There's got to be a better way.
I assume there is.
Let me just do this really quick. Welcome to the show, everyone. This whole everything number 40, a show about comic book, 40 consecutive weeks. Yeah, 40 consecutive.
The big 4-0.
And then all that other stuff that we did beforehand. How many years have we been doing this kind of stuff?
I don't know, more than 2.
Like 2 something, yeah.
More than 2. We did like 150 episodes or something, but it was.
Hey Jill, hey Fantinuum, how's everybody doing?
Hey everybody. This is the last time I will acknowledge you because I don't read the chat, and so you don't exist to me.
I read chat, so if somebody says at Jeff or whatever, I will yell at you through the microphone here.
Sure, and I'll decide at that point whether or not to respond.
All right. I'll tell you what, I'll forward you via text message all of the chat messages that you get, and then you can text me, and then I can say, yeah, he'll talk to you now. I'll be the gatekeeper.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
We don't use that kind of word in the store.
What, gatekeeping?
Sensitive. Yeah.
We use key mastering, but not gatekeepers.
Master Lock. I like Master Lock. They do good work.
Master Lock. Clink.
Fantinuum, how's it going, man? And Jill and Mr. Justarican.
Oh, and Rods and yeah. Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Hi, Jill. Special Jill shout out.
Special Jill shout out, huh?
So
yeah.
So how's your week been, ATN?
I drove a lot.
Yeah.
Disneyland?
No,
right?
I did
you
not.
Didn't go to, you went to some spooky place though, right?
Universal Studios, where they have the horror nights and the Harry Potter land and all that stuff. And yeah.
Ooh, spooky Harry Potter, like with Jackie
Actually, they close Harry Potter for the evening part. So you can't go on those rides after 6 or whatnot. But, we got there at 2, so it was fine. And then they have a bunch of haunted houses. And this year they had Stranger Things 2, second season, and a bunch of movies I've never seen. But Tyler was very excited because he's seen them all, of course.
Well, that's shocking.
I can't remember. I don't remember, man. It was all kind of a blur. I was a little high. Oh, California.
Yeah, still illegal. I mean, not to Disney. Don't tell them. But
dude, okay. So last year when I went, this guy was rolling in his cargo shorts. Yeah, you know how people roll when they walk sometimes. This dude was rolling in with his cargo shorts, and there was a cop there, real svelte, right? And he's got this dog on a short leash, like a 1-foot leash. And this dog is like pulling. And he's like, oh, it wants to go over here and talk to this guy in the cargo shorts.
Get in those cargo shorts.
Yeah, he did. So the cop was super cool. He just walked up to the dude and was like, hey, think you should know that there's no marijuana allowed on the premises. And the guy was like, and then I walked away.
And the dog was like, oh, yuck.
That dog was just like, yes, bro, get me high. And that cop was like, later, dude, later. After we've taken this guy to jail, I'll give you the treats.
That is true. They do. I mean, I think maybe they don't anymore, but that was historically how they got drug sniffing dogs, was addicting dogs to drugs.
Dude, I'd love to know a cocaine dog.
No, I know cocaine addicts, humans. I don't want to know.
Doberman with a coke habit. Think about it.
Oh yeah, that sounds like the worst.
What? Star Wars. Jesus. I did not go to Star Wars.
It was mistaken. He didn't go to Disneyland.
No, I was supposed to, but like my body's literally falling apart because I don't exercise anymore. So like one day of standing on my feet for 12 hours almost killed me.
It was Hogwarts, not Star Warts.
True. That's true.
Did you
Did you get a wand?
did you get a wand? Yeah.
Did you go to Ollivander's?
I did not. This time it was very different. It was much more crowded than last year, and we went on Halloween last year. It was way crowded, like way too crowded for me to be comfortable to like just take my time and go and do everything. So we just kind of like hit all the high points and then went to the horror stuff at 6.
Now, were you with kids? Did you have kids
No.
with you?
No.
It was just you and Tyler.
Corey, right?
Tyler and Corey.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. That's cool.
Corey and I went
followed
last
y'all
year.
on Instagram. You
followed
didn't
them.
post anything on that stuff, did you?
God, I'm just not feeling it, man. Honest to God, like I'm
It takes like 5 seconds. It doesn't even need a caption.
I don't think you understand it. I'm not feeling it. Like I don't want to post on social media. Like I am kind of getting to the point where I don't want to use it at all.
It's
What?
just Instagram, dude.
Okay. Well, you use it then. I don't want to.
I am. Well, I wasn't there.
Okay.
All right. Sorry.
Live vicariously through Tyler
What? He takes shitty.
or Corey.
Maybe he takes crummy pictures. You know.
They can't both take bad pictures.
Well, come on.
If you think I'm going to take better pictures,
You're
I'll
different
tell
height.
you what. I will take a
You're
bunch of
different
pictures of my
angle.
balls, and then I will post them on Instagram for you.
What?
Yes.
Don't
Yes.
do that. Don't do that.
Yes.
Don't do that.
I will.
I would.
No, do
if
that.
you're gonna
Do that.
have to do that,
Definitely do
just
that.
send them to me. Don't post them on Instagram. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Get a hashtag.
I'm
going.
not. By the way, I am
Hashtag
not
ATM's balls.
asking for anything like that sent to me.
You don't want dick
But it would
pics?
be at filthy.
Bro.
No, I want ball pics. The
Only
hashtag
ball.
hashtag ATN balls.
So I was at
Get that
I
big
was at a
viral.
trivia night with Philip and one of his coworkers and his coworker's girlfriend before the New Year's. And Philip, he went to the bathroom and he started to drink, so he was a little sloshy, right? And he doesn't know to take his phone with him when he goes to the bathroom yet. So I picked up his phone and I started taking pictures like crazy, like
Oh my
lots of pictures. And then his coworker was pissed because Philip had found $100 bill in the parking lot that day and wouldn't buy him a beer, right? So he was pissed. So he takes the phone and he takes it into the bathroom. Nah, you know what? Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. For the sake of the story, Philip got what was coming to him. He took that phone. He took Philip's phone into the bathroom with him, and he took like 1,000 pictures of his testicles.
1,000.
Yeah, if you just hold the button down, it just keeps taking pictures. It just
yeah.
Of his own testicles.
See, I
Of
did
his-
turned up the definition though. Like turn it up to really maximize the
I don't know how.
image quality and really just fill up that hard drive on that phone.
How over are you getting if you're sending or if you're taking pictures of your own testicles?
That was a
That's
year
really
ago.
the question.
One testicle is the same as the next. Let's be honest.
That's true. It's just this gross
So what you're
piece of
saying is,
male anatomy.
Oh no, this was somebody else's testicles I took a picture of.
Well, who
That
cares?
doesn't sound better.
No, I mean the point is, who cares?
Hey, Bruja. Welcome to the show.
Oh, now we can get it
We're
started.
just talking about
We're just talking about ball picks. That's all.
no big deal.
They are. I mean, I questioned
Yes.
it.
Yes,
I'm not talking about
Yule is above all of this, and by above I mean hovering
I'm
above
just
in rapture.
soliciting-
Like
I'm just soliciting ball picks to be.
more
posted
ball
to-
picks.
Oh, again,
Really
I am
send them.
not.
I don't think Instagram. Do they censor stuff? They
I
don't allow ball.
but I'm not
No,
going to risk.
It's
No.
not like Twitter.
Again,
Twitter,
you would have to
post your
send
ball
it.
picks to Twitter. Hashtag ATN ball picks.
And
That's good.
yeah, you won't get the right person.
Nope.
It'll be a sad thing.
No.
Yeah, that hashtag
It
is
won't.
Of course.
all the
It won't be
time.
sad. It'll be
Yeah.
hilarious. Hilarious.
So you went and did all that stuff. You drove a lot, you said.
Yeah.
All right, very good. And Jeff, how are you?
Oh, sorry. Great. Wait, you drove from New Mexico to Southern
LA.
California?
Yeah, it's a 12-hour drive.
Through Arizona?
Yes.
Is that the order of those states?
Flagstaff to Kingman to Barstow, and then down
Barstow. 15. Oh yeah,
that is
you could write a song about that.
Angeles National Forest.
There's a real great book by Hunter S. Thompson. You might have heard of it. And the drugs began to kick in just outside of Barstow.
Now, are you saying that has?
Oh, did that happen with you also?
Right. That's like the first sentence of that book, dude.
Yes, but is that relevant to your story?
I was high the whole time. I mean,
oh, cool. So, but where was Bat Country for you?
Bat Country? I didn't drive at dusk, so there was no bad time or place. It was all sunny and it was nice.
Nice, but not too hot. Sometimes those parks, whew. But you went in the evening, right? You said you went in the afternoon, evening?
What the hell are you talking about?
Going to an amusement park or a...
Okay. We moved on from Barstow is what you're getting at.
Yeah, I am.
We started at 2 p.m. We started at 2 p.m. and we went through the normal daily routine until 5:30 when you have to leave the park and come back in so that 6 o'clock you can go and do all the horror stuff.
So it was probably pretty hot though.
It's fine. That's fine. It's comfortable.
You live in the desert now, so
it was
you're
nice.
Sun-baked.
Probably mid-70s.
Oh.
It was comfortable. It was very comfortable. I didn't have a jacket. I wore jeans and a t-shirt and I was comfortable. And it was nice.
Did you go by Aaron Brockovich's place?
No, I saw that. I didn't know that she was there, and I wouldn't have stopped by if I had.
In Barstow? Wait, where does she live?
I'm not stopping in Barstow. Barstow is a place that you go around or go through. It's one person, dude. It's Erin Brockovich. She's a real human.
Oh, that's right. I was thinking of...
Were you thinking of Pretty Woman? You're thinking of Pretty Woman, weren't you? You're like, that prostitute's real?
Right? It was a movie also, right?
Yeah, called Erin Brockovich.
I
think it was named after the real person.
Was it based on a true story or was it the true story?
It's probably based on.
Oh, whatever.
I mean, it wasn't. So it was not a documentary because she is not.
She's a
Pretty Woman.
Yeah, she's not Pretty Woman.
What's her name?
I can't remember.
Julia Roberts won an Oscar for that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right, so I've got something that Eugene gave me.
What's in the bag?
Yeah, what is in the bag? I want you to know that Eugene has had a couple of business ventures since he's helped me open this store.
Okay.
And one of them was
They've all been as phenomenally successful as this was.
Exactly. 8 years running. Woo!
What's in the bag?
You're the winner.
No, the bag is from one of his investments called Mrs. Munchies.
Okay.
He wanted to deliver cookies to people.
And
we tried to talk him out of it. We're like, what the hell are you doing?
No, it was great. I inherited.
Well, this bag is from that.
Stephanie inherited a lot of the Mrs. Munchies fortune.
Oh, really?
A huge bag of flour, a huge bag of cocoa powder. Just like I'm talking about huge.
Is she going to use it before it goes all weevily?
It's all long gone. This was years and years ago. It's all been used.
Okay.
I've eaten all of the foods that have been baked with it.
All right.
Oh, stay golden, pony boy.
Stay golden. Golden girls. Woo.
It's a big one.
Well, I'm a big boy. It's a retailer size is what I like to say.
What?
A retailer size is the size that I wear in shirts.
Okay.
I shouldn't. I know, but
why? A loose shirt is more comfortable than a tight.
It is more comfortable, you know. I don't need everybody seeing everything, you know.
Okay, so that color blue and that style of bag, man, I didn't know what we were getting into. I thought it was like some kind of blue Play-Doh.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was either. Anyway, yeah, the Mrs. Munchie bags are still coming in handy. He uses them for, and I'm like,
Nothing
is that a
goes to
Mrs.
waste.
Munchie's bag? He uses that. Yeah, never go to waste. Yeah.
This
So
is Munchies.
there you go.
This is Munchies. Well, see, there was a time when that was all the rage. There were like all
Remember
these late night delivery places in Berkeley.
Cupcake trucks.
Oh,
Do you remember those?
Yeah.
Cupcakes.
What happened to
Cupcakes,
those?
yeah.
Are they still around?
She sold out. They got a real place, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
What
They
do you
didn't have time
mean a real place? Like the cupcake
Brick
truck
and
is
mortar.
far superior business model than a brick and
It's
mortar.
nice. I mean, everybody, but you don't want to like run around all the time like that, stacking cupcakes on. Oh, it's horrible. Ugh.
Yeah, and you have to like maintain your schedule and constantly update your social media to make sure that you're.
They always had a line though. It was sweet.
No, they were great.
Do
They
they
were
always have a line now?
great. I don't know. I don't
I
know where
doubt
it
it.
is. I don't go there.
Okay, there we
When
go
they
already.
When they came to my street, I ate those cupcakes.
Yeah, exactly.
When they stopped coming to my street, I stopped eating those cupcakes.
They're like brick and mortar. I'm out.
I don't know what that.
Well, I mean, brick and mortar, I'm out unless those bricks are near
right
me.
next door to the mortar.
That's
you know?
right.
They're not.
No,
Yeah, we had that chocolatier blue just around the corner for a while.
they're still there.
Are they still there? Oh, I thought they weren't. What about the pie place?
They are also
Oh.
still there.
No, really?
Yeah,
I like
they
pie.
are one. I'm pretty sure they're one. And
It's
the pie place
expensive,
also has beer,
but it's good.
They have
They have a beer pie.
no. They have taps.
Do they have
serve
savory?
pie and beer, and
Do
they have
have
like
savory pie
a
as
beer
well?
garden. Yeah, I think they usually have one savory pie.
Do they?
Okay.
I would never know because just for the
For a
most part.
beer, I would want a savory pie. I'm just saying. I don't think that a sweet pie with a beer is doesn't sound good.
Well,
if
gotta
it's
tell you,
chocolate?
chocolate and
Yeah.
beer go really great together.
I like it.
Okay.
Chocolate's good. Beer and chocolate is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not my first choice for pie, but it's all right.
Have you ever had cheese in your coffee?
I
or
have
butter?
not.
Butter,
You know,
yes.
no, I don't see any reason for that. Half and half's good enough. What?
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, butter just sounds weird to me. In there.
It is weird. It's got salt in it.
But you're probably thinking salted butter.
I am thinking salted.
I don't
Actually,
like-
you are thinking salted butter because you literally just said that. But there is a such thing as unsalted butter,
No, I'm aware of that as
all
well,
of baking.
but
and in much of
it's just
so-
heavy cream. It's literally just heavy cream. So why
That's
not just add heavy cream?
Well, somebody put in all the work to turn it into butter, and that that's
shake.
And then cheese on an apple pie, right?
Yeah, people do that. I've never had it.
a slice
What,
of cheese.
cheddar?
Yeah, cheddar and apple is great together, man.
There you go.
Cheddar.
I haven't done that before. I guess I'll try that.
All
next time.
right, cheddar.
Cheddar.
That's my home star runner.
Cheddar.
impression.
I never watched that.
Mhm.
Homestar?
Never watched Homestar?
It was, I wasn't a big into computers and stuff like that. I mean, I like them when they do the thing that
You're
I
like
need.
an
but
analog guy.
yeah, for the most part, I was writing on paper for quite a while. I mean, we always had computers in the house. We had a Trash 80, a TRS 80
Hell yeah.
in 1980, and I remember playing like King's Quest.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we also had the ones that would have like just the script, the
Yeah.
adventures that way. But yeah, we did like the Police Academy one, or not Police Academy, but whatever it was called, Police Squad. All of those Sierra games, I think it was Sierra.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They were kind of a monster in that day and age for a
yeah.
computer.
Leisure Suit Larry.
They
Remember that one?
So many games.
Hey, hello.
Kids playing those games.
I remember
Behave.
kid I went to school with had that game, and that's great and all, but like King's Quest was kind of where it was at for me.
King's Quest was cool.
Nah, man.
They had a
I was
space
about-
one.
I was about that Oregon Trail life.
Is that an Apple thing?
It was for me
Or
because that's all I had.
Commodore,
When
because I didn't have any
when I
of
was a
those.
kid, I only had apples because my dad was a teacher, got a discount, and
Yeah.
immediately became an Apple guy for life in like 1980. And then to this day, he's a diehard Apple guy. He only uses Apple products. If he touched a Windows machine, his hand would burn.
Ow!
Remember
Damn you, Bill
what
Gates!
was it? The Macintosh was that little gray tower?
Yeah.
And it
Yeah,
was like
that was like a little tiny
green,
screen
black and white
inside
screen.
of a. Yeah, I didn't have one.
I played Tetris over at my buddy's house on that one a lot.
Nice.
Tetris was sweet there on that. Yeah,
Tetris
was
is
good.
a good game, man.
Love Tetris.
I like
Tetris
Tetris.
is great. Classic.
Yeah,
Still good.
and we would do that while we were like playing Dungeons and Dragons. So like if my character went down, go back and play Tetris.
Oh my god! Even then, you couldn't. Oh,
You're one of those guys. I get it.
Hey, Fantinuum, when you're playing, don't pull out your watch.
Whoa! Put your staff away, sir.
Don't build dice towers and don't roll Yahtzee like I do. That's my big one.
Wait. Dice towers. Who was building dice towers?
Don't build
Oh,
dice
yeah,
towers.
I
Everybody does it. I mean, a little bit.
No,
Jay-
not
Usually,
anybody.
you just kind of put a
No, that was
six-sider on top of a six-sider.
no.
And then you're
Well,
like,
if you're an amateur, I guess.
Well, what, you start with a four-sider?
No, I start with the 4 6-siders as a base,
Well,
and then I
of course.
build up from there. I'm
Well,
trying to build
yeah.
a tower, okay?
So don't do that when
Oh.
you're playing
Don't,
Dungeons
but
and
I
Dragons.
wouldn't do that because Jay did not allow it.
It is a sure sign that people are not paying attention.
No
Yeah.
dice towers.
But I
yeah,
mean, you know.
exactly. No, also, I've played with people who didn't even know, like, no drinks on the table, no food on the table, no, like,
All right, here's one. I had a dungeon master that rolled damage for us.
Oh, I like that. I'm into
yeah, I
that.
bet you do.
Yeah.
Dude, I like the I don't
Level
know.
of God,
the randomness.
That
Well,
is.
like
Bought his first minifigure, by the way.
nice. What was it? What is it? What is it?
He's a paladin dragonborn, I think.
Oh, so
Dragonborn
he
Paladin.
bought a minifigure to represent that character.
I guess so, yeah.
Prepare
Awesome.
for that character to die
So that- there
immediately.
you go.
No, don't worry. Don't
First
listen to
time you
him.
buy a figure that's
Don't
like, oh, this is my
listen.
new character. I'm gonna put this. Oh, that character is dead. Here, but you're lucky. It's a dragonborn. So,
Oh, dude. Hey,
from
did
a clutch of identical dragonborns, you
Yeah,
got
yeah.
6 or 8 of them that all hatched in the same clutch. So if
did
it
you
died,
buy them on Hero Forge? Fantenio,
Oh,
did you,
yeah. Let's
you get them
give
on
a
Hero
little
Forge?
shout out.
oh, where you can like create your own custom.
Yeah, well, he
Yeah.
said one of them was lying down, and I know you can do that. There's like you can take the exact character that you just designed and make it lie down as if it was
That's awesome.
unconscious. Yes,
Yeah.
awesome. Good
Nice,
choice, man.
nice.
Good choice.
That is awesome.
Those
so you
are-
definitely
those are
have to
fun.
do the clutch of eggs because that character is dying. You put so much effort into that representation of that character.
If
It's
that
short-
character dies, then his twin
yeah,
sibling
no, he's got 8 twins. I'm
just
saying
shows up. No big deal. It's fine.
it's dragonborns come from clutches of eggs. It's not a problem. There could be 1,000 of them.
How big is a clutch?
Oh, it depends on the species.
Hmm.
If it's a fish, then it's like, hundreds or thousands
Yeah, man.
Do fish have clutches?
of eggs. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Google it.
Okay,
I'm
I will.
sure.
I will.
Sure.
I will.
You're going to Google it. Yeah, you can get them painted also. That's great. Hey,
Oh, wait. But you can also paint them yourself, right? You can get them gray.
Yeah,
and
you
just paint them up.
He's gonna
Ooh.
prime him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I love it.
You like painting?
I
I don't know.
thoroughly-
I've
I
never
don't-
had
I
time to
mean,
do it.
I
never
loved
really.
it when I was a kid. I
When I
did
was
it
a
all the
kid.
time. Yeah.
I wasted so much
When I was
time
a
doing
teenager.
nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
What was
I
it?
like, oh, it's Saturday afternoon. I'm just gonna.
I should have done more.
Figurines.
It's row.
It's a row. It is a row. That's a common
but that's the
boggled
name for the
word.
egg.
Yeah, that's the name of the egg.
It's a group of eggs is called row.
Oh,
A group of fish eggs is called roe.
Clutch of roe is what you're telling me.
Like a murder of crows. They all have their own names. All grouping. A lot of groupings are different.
Sure. No, that makes sense. Well, then who lays eggs at a clutch?
Chickens.
Platypuses?
Maybe.
Platypi?
Dude, that is the weirdest creature. I mean, it's just insane. It's got a beak like a bird. It's a mammal. It lays eggs, and it's got a venomous.
Got drunk down at the animal factory. There's a mix-up down at the mammal factory. This one came out with flippers and a bill
and venom.
Holy cow!
It's like when there's all marshmallow Lucky Charms.
Oh, the whole bag. Yeah, you just won. You won that day. That's a good day.
Did I bring it?
I don't know. What are you talking about?
I was just thinking of something.
Was it hard?
I had a comic that I had signed by a customer of ours.
Oh,
wait a minute. Yeah. Did the customer make the comic, or did he just give you a solid?
He participated in the making of the comic.
That's good.
All right. I got him right here.
It wasn't Stan Lee, was it?
Actually, Stan Lee came in the store, and I had him sign a ton of stuff. He was still rocking it, you know. I think rigor mortis hasn't set in, and he's just like they have like jolts going through him, so he can sign stuff.
It was the real Stan Lee. He grabbed my
really
tits.
Was. Show me.
All right, we have issues 1 and 2 of Omen. It is I forget what the name of this company, North Star Publishing, but
North Star.
This is the company. North. So there you go. That's the logo.
Oh, Omen. That logo is amazing.
Those are the people that were publishing Tim Vigil back in the day. Is that right?
This is Tim Vigil.
Yeah. Okay.
Tim Vigil did not come in the store, by the way, but he's going to be signing at a show coming up real soon.
Is he how old is he? I mean, is he ancient now?
He's older than me. I mean, he was a professional before I was 18. So let's just assume he's 20 years older than me.
Faust,
when you was barely legal, dude, he was already a professional.
Faust is the reason why the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund is a thing, really.
Okay.
Yeah, well, Florida, man, they ban everything. They got Jim Morrison years ago. They got who did the "Hey, I want some," song.
Do you remember? When
Luke Skywalker?
Luke Skywalker, aka Luther Campbell.
There you go. And they also got some comic store owner for selling Faust to a youngling.
They did that in Texas too.
Yeah, man, you guys down there. Woo.
Don't you guys me?
Y'all down there.
Y'all down there in the South.
That's not the South.
Not the South. Not the South. Well, you know what? Up in Colorado, you sure look like you're all the way down there.
You know what? Colorado can suck it. That's what I have to say about that.
You live there. Wow.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm not blaming you or anything for that. I'm just,
Texas
you live there,
is not the South. They did not fight in the Civil War on the side of the South.
All right. I'm sorry.
Texas is their own brand of bullshit, and we all have to respect that.
That's
they
right.
are huge.
That's right.
Huge brand. Everything's bigger down in the Republic of Texas.
Yeah. Their bulls are big. Their bullshit is bigger.
I assume that the freedoms of, some things aren't quite the same in other states as they are in California.
Some places, the separation of church and state has not taken place yet.
Yeah. So I don't mean to demean anybody in other places.
What? Let's go ahead. Religion can suck it, just like Colorado.
And Florida.
Well, I didn't know we were attacking religion right now. I want to get my notes together.
Where do you think? The Comic Book Legal Defense Fund wouldn't have to exist if religion wasn't butting into the law?
Dude, that was during like the Tipper Gore days. So
doesn't matter when.
I mean, it wasn't even like
if you
super
can still,
religious.
Did you hear about that Iranian Instagrammer that got arrested?
All of a sudden you're on Instagram.
Did you hear about her?
No.
Iranian Instagrammer. She got arrested for heresy.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, what'd she do? Did she like take a picture at night or something like that?
No, she's pretty ghastly. She's done a lot of cosmetic surgery and she doesn't look human anymore. But at the same time,
what do you mean? Like she showed her skin? I mean,
look it up. You just go ahead and look it up.
All right, fine.
Well, then take my word for it. She doesn't look human.
Give me a name. You know,
I don't. Iranian heresy, arrested, Instagram. I mean, keywords just galore.
All right.
You'll find her real fast.
Fine. All right. Look, I'll look for it in a second. I want to share the screen anyway. But the
don't show the
person.
screen.
Oh no! Don't.
No.
What is it of? When you say she doesn't look human,
just go ahead and take a look.
You mean after the fact she doesn't? I mean, this is something she willingly wanted to do?
Her appearance isn't the point. Like, the point is she got arrested for heresy. Okay?
What does that mean again?
It means you've pissed off a God person. Okay? You've offended somebody who likes God. That's what it means.
Yeah, in a place where that
you're a God person.
Has weight.
It was fake, it says. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So this right here is the backup story called Buzz Mason. And it is drawn by Gary Amaro, who goes on to do Vertigo books. I think The Dreaming. Anyway, he signed this somewhere.
Right on the cover.
Oh, yeah, right on the cover. With a silver pen. Yeah, because... What's this guy? It's Tim Vigil, and the other guy's name is... I don't know. That's whatever. David Quinn. David Quinn does some Marvel also later on.
It was Quinn and Vigil.
Yeah, Quinn and Vigil. Yeah. Vigil goes on to do Faust. You know, that's his big thing. Faust is a real X-rated, hardcore, violent,
loving, lots of
He doesn't shy away from a boob or a penis or so much more. And there's a lot
ejaculate.
Yeah, exactly. There's been collections, but there's never really been one complete collection. I think it would do really well if it came out, but I'm sure there's probably some reason why it hasn't.
Heresy.
Heresy.
We can't sell that in Florida, guys. I'm sorry.
All right. So we have a situation that happened recently. Do you want to hear about this? About Kevin Feige. Feige, right?
Oh.
All right, I'm going to share a screen with you, okay?
Feige? Unclear.
Anyway, I don't know if I need to share audio, but I'm going to do this.
I think it's Feige.
So, oh my gosh, I can't believe people did that. In fact, let me just do this really quick. All right. So, check that out. Kevin Feige taking over as Marvel Chief Creative Officer. I was reading this earlier today on another website. Jeff was reading it on this website.
That's right.
It's basically he's taking over, what does it say here? All Marvel, including TV,
publishing, television,
comic
film.
publishing, and film.
He's the capo de capo, baby. The Don of all Dons.
These changes
Joe Quesada, Kiss the Ring.
These mean that Feige is the top of the Marvel chain of command, right beside Chairman Ike Perlmutter,
who basically has been backseated for years since he got outed as a Trump supporter. Yeah. They have given him no control over anything. He has ceded all control. He's just basically cashing checks. He's of course getting the windfall of all Marvel success is going directly from your pocket into Ike Perlmutter, and then Ike Perlmutter is putting it directly into Donald Trump's campaign fund.
Well, there's been a couple of times where they have done depictions of MODOK as Trump.
Oh yeah.
But there have been other times when Zdarsky wrote a joke about an orange man in office.
Oh, sure.
And they had that edited out.
Yeah, Mark Wade got shut down.
Mark Wade got shut down, but Mark Wade was oh, and also don't forget, what's his name? Spiegelman. Spiegelman and Mark Waid.
Art Spiegelman. You may have heard of the legendary Art Spiegelman.
Who?
Not exactly not exactly Mark Waid.
Right, so for those of you who don't know, he did a book called Mouse, which is about mice that are Jews and cats that are Germans, Nazis. And it's a story about being in an internment camp and also about a father and son and family's life after the fact.
As far as homework comics go, it's really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
But it's a homework comic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you think about so it was originally published in Raw magazine, I do believe it is. And it is an oversized, a whole bunch of other illustrators and cartoonists of the day, underground people for the most part. This was a part of that. And
prior to Mouse, Art Spiegelman had done a lot of off color, he was not like he did not always do super serious comics.
Right.
Right. He was an alternative comics guy doing weird, gross shit, just like every alternative comics person was doing.
Like you should be.
Back then. And then he did Mouse. And then he got
They did nothing else ever again.
Put on a pedestal.
He wouldn't. And then I assume he made quite a bit of money.
He did that 9/11. He did that oversized 9/11 book.
Sucked. Sorry, In the Shadow of Two Towers sucked. I mean, I felt bad too, but come on, that sucked. I wrote a bad poem. Get over it.
All of the comics community bent over backwards to do 9/11 tribute stuff.
Oh, they were
all Marvel, DC, so everyone, because the comics community very historically based in
New York,
in Manhattan.
Yeah, sure.
And so, I don't know if it was obligation or genuine emotional, which, respect, fine. But from outside, even as an East Coaster, it still felt cheap and shitty.
Cheap and shitty.
That was my take on it.
No, it didn't.
But I'll never forget it.
Well, I'll never forget. I mean, it's quite the thing. And I don't know. I mean, it meant something to me.
Like Joe Quesada doing all those firefighter,
well, his father was a fireman, right?
Of course, yeah. I mean,
that's what Ash was all about.
Yeah, he created a superhero fireman, the only one ever, and that was before September 11th. So in your face, terrorists!
In your face, yeah, exactly.
Can't stop him.
So, just one other thing, it said that comicbook.com has learned, they don't even say their own thing. The comic book has learned that Marvel's former chief creative officer Joe Quesada is now the EVP creative director for the company. I don't know what that means.
EVP, executive vice president.
Vice president. Oh, he is now. Does he move down? Is that what that is?
That sounds like it, because he was previously the chief creative officer, and now he's the executive vice president of creativity.
He got on Twitter. So check this out. So Joe Quesada got on Twitter.
He's been riding high for decades now. On what? Let's be honest,
dude. Nothing on everybody that he brought in with Axel Alonso, 15 years ago.
Really, he's been riding on Axel.
Do you remember that time I had Grant Morrison in this? Yeah, that was Axel.
I remember he's been dining out on Axel Alonso's check for 2 decades.
You remember that time I slowly drew that Kevin Smith comic called Daredevil?
Oh yeah.
Remember all this cover? I love Joe Quesada's art. He's one of my faves. He was at New York Comic Con.
Honestly, though, that Daredevil, the art in that Kevin Smith Daredevil run was so good.
It was very good. It was worth being late. I mean, there's so much work, so many words too.
There was a fucking ton of words.
Too many. Cut it down, Kevin Smith. Yeah. So at the New York Comic Con, Kevin Smith, Joe Quesada did this tweet about how, look how many people are at this convention. Comics, they're near dying. Kind of like sticking it in, but now we see somebody taking over 2 weeks later, basically saying, "Hey Joe."
Hey Joe.
Well, him and I can't remember. Oh, him and CB Sobolski, Akira Yoshida went to South by Southwest, and they had like big meetings or something like that.
Yeah.
And I guess the meetings that they came back with was that they got to keep their jobs, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Or
maybe.
they got to keep
or
a
at least
job.
a
They
job.
got to keep their salary and maybe just slide down the totem pole.
I don't know, man. I really think there's some conspiracy we're going to find out about later about this whole Brian Michael Bendis moving to DC and Jonathan Hickman coming over to Marvel. Because I really think, there were so many rumors that Hickman was going to be doing Legion for DC, and there's some similarities to a lot of what Bendis is doing over there.
He was teasing that himself.
Was he teasing that himself? I don't remember.
I mean, he was teasing the X-Men fans for years.
Yeah. Well, I think
during the time when he wasn't working for Marvel, he was doing a lot of that.
I didn't know
stuff.
That. He
definitely was.
Because we were tickling our own fancies of him doing X-Men, even as he was finishing up with Avengers, because we were like, well, what else is big that is worth him doing?
Right.
But Marvel was in.
Like he did the First Family. He did the Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Right.
Where do you go from there?
Exactly. Where do you go from there?
There's only one thing left in the Marvel universe.
But Marvel was not in the frame of mind to give a crap about X-Men at the time.
Right.
Because they didn't own it, so they didn't care about the movies. And they didn't want to help it out.
The weird thing is that none of what he's doing now is movie friendly at all.
No. Well,
like they used a bunch of his Avengers stuff in the those last two Avengers movies.
Right.
But this doesn't seem movie friendly.
Well, I think
because it's so weird.
I think elements of what we have going on right now are actually movie friendly, because what he's done is he's introduced us to a lot of new things with the characters, and at the same time filled us in and maybe, again, tickling us just a little bit about what has gone on before, so that you may want to look into it later on. That's something he does. He totally is a ball fondler, without a doubt. He is the ball fondler supreme. I guess that's really what the name of this program is. This episode, at least.
Hashtag ball picks.
Hashtag
ATN ball picks.
Ball picks. Is that with an X or a CKS? Ball picks. Anyway, so I don't know. I just feel like there's some sort of crazy thing that we're going to find out. And you're right. Maybe he was suggesting all that stuff. I didn't know that. But when I heard that he might have been doing Legion, and he wasn't doing anything for Marvel, the only thing he did was those last two S.H.I.E.L.D. issues.
Right.
And I don't even know what he really had to do there, because supposedly the art had been done all that time.
And supposedly the art had been done based on his it was done Marvel style, where he just wrote some stuff and then
no wonder Dustin Weaver thinks he can write.
Right, exactly.
I mean,
he was like, I'm just,
if I'm going to do all this stuff Marvel style, I might as well someday. Marvel, maybe, Marvel style. That's an interesting. Anyway. Oh, there's other people here.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Mike's in the room. How's it going, Mike?
Mike
Spitolari, if I said it right.
Whoa, don't dox people.
He's using it himself.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
I don't do that. I do at least go Mike S or something like that. Mr. S. So, Jeff Johns. Yeah, exactly.
Jeff Johns is in the chat.
Not as bad as the demotion Jeff Johns got over at WBDC. That's another thing.
Yeah, I think
that totally ties in
on that.
I think that ties in with Bendis coming over. And the thing is, Jonathan Hickman's never written 50 million books at one time. And, Bendis can craft that stuff out like crazy.
But Bendis can write a lot of stuff.
You get it fast, too.
But Jonathan Hickman has shown that he can write one long, expansive, epic story that oftentimes ends up being bi-monthly because it splits into 2 books. You had Fantastic Four and FF, and then you had Avengers and New Avengers coming out like concurrently.
How much did Jeff Johns ever do at any one time? He did Green Lantern and Flash at the same time? Maybe not.
I don't even know.
He only did really 1 book at a time, I think. He was another one that was really good. I can't believe
he was so good. I feel like
Bendis took over, man. I'm telling you, he took over.
Yeah, but the Sinestro War was the end of Jeff Johns for me.
I like Blackest Night.
Yeah, I do not.
I love the Blue Lanterns. Those are my faves. Hope. Their power rings only work when they're around other power rings that aren't like blue, so green or
and they can like supercharge them.
Yeah, they can. They're really cool,
and that is cool. And I love the fucking elephant guy.
Yeah,
he was super awesome.
Like a Ganesh kind of guy.
Yeah. They but the black rings are where they lost me. Going zombie is where they lost me. Bringing back all these dead heroes and being like, all this dead, like
it was DC Zombies is what it was.
DC Zombies. Yeah. It was not exciting or interesting to me.
I liked it a lot, and it had great artwork.
Brightest Day, which was even.
I like Brightest Day too. So they had we both agree that 52 was a good weekly series.
Yes.
And that Countdown was not a good weekly series.
Oh, 100%.
And Trinity was even worse than that.
Oh, yeah.
But I think wasn't Brightest Night weekly or Brightest Day weekly?
Maybe.
I like that, but it didn't go long. It went like 36 issues or something like that.
I don't know.
I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. It was I was reading that when I was unemployed, so Obama helped pay for those comic books.
Thanks, Obama.
Thank you, Obama. Yeah. All right. So what was I buying during that time? You ask. I was buying Spider-Man, which I think was still coming out 3 times a month.
Spider-Man.
I was buying Fantastic Four, which was Jonathan Hickman writing it at the time.
Dan Slott on Spider-Man. Jonathan Hickman on Fantastic Four. These are epic runs.
Yeah, these are good runs.
I don't stop buying them just because you are unemployed.
Yeah, you don't stop when you're unemployed. You keep getting these books.
You take a bus to go and buy comics at Dr. Comics and Mr.
That's right. That's exactly what we did. And we didn't want to do that anymore, so I opened a store right next door to where this guy works.
Oh, I knew that was the best. No more riding a bus to a comic store.
Yeah, so this is a lot of work I do just to get my weekly comics, and God damn it,
you people should be thankful.
That's right, you should be thankful. I can't do it.
I mean, I am.
Yeah.
What are you pointing at?
I'm pointing at the page.
It's covered by your name, man. You can't even see that you're pointing at your. Support us on Patreon, everybody.
Why are you on camera? It's kind of disconcerting.
Because right now you're talking to Jeff.
Yeah. Okay, very good. I see what you're saying. I see what he's doing here now. Finally, he's got your face up.
Oh,
with the beard, the fake
nice.
beard thing.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I wish I could change the name on a whim, but I can't. So leave a banner up so it's not misrepresenting Jeff there.
Yeah. What do you think about that new banner?
Yule's Ululations?
Yeah.
Puny banner.
What does it mean? A ululation.
It's kind of like screaming, really. Think of Xena. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It's like
All right. So when are you gonna stop making sense sometime soon?
No. I mean, we're probably to the point where I should start running through some of the comics that are coming out. So,
you're trying to get rid of your cousin?
Stop making.
Is my cousin in the chat?
I don't know. Who's your cousin?
She's not in the chat. I don't see her.
Who's
Mr.
Junkie?
S?
Coffee Junkie is.
All right. Let's see. Mr. S says Andrew Yang administration would pay for a lot of doobies. That's cool.
Yang Gang?
I am totally in the Yang Gang then.
Nah, dude. I'm full orb gag. Come on.
What?
Marianne Williamson, baby. She's the only one who's bringing mystical orbs to the table.
Yeah. If you want mystical orbs, Donald Trump did that in what?
That is true. He did do that in Saudi Arabia.
Was pretty.
He is full on orb gang.
And there was a sword involved too. So I mean, I don't know what we're talking about, but that was a thing.
You're right. I'm all turned around on this. Let's make America
don't
great
say
again.
that. Anyhow, okay, let me go to this. Turn off the camera. All right. I'm going to start switching it over so we can look at some comic books. Why don't you talk to me, Joe?
The old switcheroo. What kind of comics are we looking at today? These are the previews or the reviews?
We'll do the reviews first.
Reviews
Yeah,
first.
We're not going to do like crazy reviews, but there's 4 things. One from last week I didn't talk about foolishly.
Powers of X #6.
No, I didn't even talk about that. We've really not talked about X-Men a lot. Today was like some of the most, but it's really we were talking about Hickman. I like Hickman a lot. I think he does some of my favorite mainstream comic book work.
I went back and I was like, you know what? Maybe like based on what the thematically has been going on in X-Men, I was like, maybe I should go back and read Jonathan Hickman's Transhuman. Because like he wrote a book about the transhumanism movement, people trying to advance humanity via genetic and cybernetic, enhancements.
I know there's some guy.
There's somebody
laughing
outside.
Out there crazy.
Somebody outside is insane, but that's fine. That's par for the course. But anyway, I went back and I started reading it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this is not really actually about that. Like that's a background element. The book is about like venture capitalism and the tech corporations, and is not really about genetic modification in the way that this current X-Men story is about. But it was still fun. So check out Transhuman by Jonathan Hickman and some guy.
You don't know who it was? Yeah, I don't know either. ATN, let me tell you, House of X and Powers of 10, for me, were everything I could have possibly hoped in an X-Men comic book starting off. A few years of amazing work. And I really liked it. And the people that came in the store reading it were really excited. I actually had people milling around the front door to get the new issue because they were, partially because they were worried that they wouldn't be able to get it. And also because, they just wanted to come in because it was exciting to come in. It was excellent.
Yeah, finally.
Excellent. It was excellent. And, there's something that, I remember when I was working at Comic Relief, and we had comic books on one side of the store that were new or recent, and others on the other side that were recent, and those were the alternative books, Invisibles, which would be Grant Morrison, or something from Vertigo, or maybe something from Antarctic. I remember Luftwaffe was a comic book back then. I hated it. Gold Digger. Oh, those are the worst. Sorry. Anyway, that
Ben Dunn.
Anyway, yeah, Ben Dunn. It's been done before.
Yeah.
But I like it. It's cool. It's fine. I'm not making fun of it.
Real name?
I guess so. Anyway, I had a friend who in high school he read all the Ninja High Schools. He loved that.
God
Just
bless.
loved it. Yeah, exactly. Someone had to read it.
Hey.
All right.
It's been done.
Follow me on Filthy Burger on Instagram. I post pictures of comic books that I like. This is Copra, Volume 2, Number 1. It continues from where the last issue left off. Don't worry. Just read it. This is the way comics used to be. If this was like number 32 and you didn't know, you just pick it up and you read it anyway, if you like it. And I can understand at first that this artwork might be a little bit jarring, but understand that this person is doing everything. He's writing it, he's drawing it, he's inking it, he's coloring it, he's lettering it. He's putting everything together. And he has been by himself for people that subscribe to this comic book for many years now. Since we've been open, he's been doing this book, I think.
He is what we call an auteur. That's the auteur.
That is.
Of comics.
Yeah. And it has a very raw,
everything.
Feeling, when you look at this.
Got some partially completed aspects always to his art where it's just like it's very
it evokes emotion.
Like pop art.
Yeah. This is like really, really great stuff, and I want people to enjoy this, not just get this. I mean, I do want people to get it also, but this is great. He's taking when you're looking at look at this. This person's groggy as they're walking down the street, and these characters are somewhat reminiscent. This is a reminiscent of Shade the Changing Man. That character is Jesus. Do you hear that?
There's like some sort of calliope going on.
Can you hear this?
Outside.
No.
Oh, good.
I think it's
Weird Al's outside.
Yeah, maybe somebody with a...
Yes, sir.
I think you're too close to your microphone.
Oh, sorry.
There's an accordion going very loud right outside the door.
Somewhere. Anyway, if you want to know what happened previously in Copra, there is a 3 or 4 page breakdown of each issue in one panel and what happened. It's a really cool way of telling you what happened. And it's supposed to be coming out monthly through Image. And I really enjoyed this first issue. It gets you right in the action and you don't have to worry about it. You just do it. You really can't hear that?
You can't hear that?
Can anybody in the audience hear this?
I mean, there's
barely.
Yeah.
All right. Are they right in front of the door, Eugene? Can you move them away from our door? They're not welcome to be there. All right, actually, here. Review Dr. Doom for me.
It was great. Next.
No. Okay. Okay, Dr. Doom. I didn't read it, but I read part of it. And all the parts that I read, I talked about last week on last week's episode. Which you... Okay. He's like, yeah.
Is it going to escalate to an amusing place?
God, I hope not. My dream would be no. Okay, it's over. He's locking the door. The guy's going to move along. He's not going to.
He's taking his zither with him somewhere down the street.
Presumably. Why? Oh, why can't I? He's going to proceed over the rainbow. Yes.
Holy cow, guys. All right. Great time living in Berkeley, working in Berkeley. You just got to move 5 feet. Dr. Doom, Christopher Cantwell. He wrote She Could Fly. It was a burger book for Dark Horse. He is now writing Dr. Doom. He's written a lot of other stuff.
We covered this last week. He wrote Great Pacific, which I love.
Great Pacific. There you go. Salvador LaRocca is doing the art. He sometimes borrows from existing images, and it's kind of yucky.
That is very generous.
He, for the most part, does. I kind of like this one. I didn't think it was so bad. And I really like the story, which was about Dr. Doom having to...
He literally moved 5 feet.
That's fine.
Sorry. Continue. I'm sure no one can hear it. Just keep going.
It's not that.
It just gets into my head, and as I'm talking about it, this comic book, I'm thinking of Wizard of Oz or something.
You should be used to it by now.
Also, he's doing the Imperial March.
Oh, now he's doing the Imperial March. Is that because of me moving him along?
Presumably.
Yes.
Yes. Maybe he knows I'm talking about Dr. Doom. Huh?
Dude,
Dr. Doom is a character that's very full of himself. And there is an idea that we're going to help our environment by throwing all our trash in a black hole on the moon. And he's all, don't you guys think that's kind of stupid? And they're like, well, we're using, Reed Richards and all these other people that are really smart involved.
Richard,
he hates Reed Richards. He has this conversation with Kang, which means Kang, yeah.
Too close to the mic.
Too close.
Sorry. I'm overcompensating because there's been times when I haven't been too close.
I'll let you know.
All right, very good. Also because of the guy playing music.
Just ignore him.
Anyway, basically it goes bad. It goes bad because missiles from Latveria, that's where his country they go off, and it looks like he did it, and he's like, oh,
but
no.
he didn't do it.
But he didn't do it,
and he's
a
like,
good
I
guy
didn't
this
do
time.
it.
I didn't do it. And
I
Union
used to
Jack
be Iron
shows
Man
up.
5 minutes ago.
That's
Remember
right.
when I was Iron Man?
Yeah.
No one remembers when I was Iron Man.
That's right.
I barely remember, but it was very recently.
Now we're doing Wizard of Oz. We're back on that.
Yeah. Yep.
Somewhere over the rainbow. We're gonna get copyright strike.
Well, that's okay. We can blame this guy. We can sick the cops on this guy.
ATN, did you know that they're doing 100-page giants for DC?
$5. Yeah, no, they did one a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yeah,
that was Flash.
This is
Flash.
Batman. Then they did villains.
Yeah, that's next.
I'm into it in every capacity except for the binding. I don't like prestige bindings.
You don't like that?
What?
I do not.
Okay.
I like a spine.
So what normally happens in these books is there's 2 stories. The first one is a longer length, and the second one is like about 8 pages. 8-page stories are very common back in the day.
Back in the day,
there would be, it would be one of those things where,
let's throw a little new material in with this reprint.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. And that's kind of what this is. You get 3 reprint stories, and you get 2 new stories. You get a Batman story, but the one I'm pointing out is this Batwoman story. She hasn't had a book recently, but she does have a TV show. So that's another thing I like about these books, is that you're getting characters that you don't normally see. Also, you're sometimes getting pencilers or writers that you don't get to see normally. And this one is drawn by Tom Morgan. Tom Morgan has done a lot of stuff. He did like Star Trek back in the day. Tom Mandrake. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Tom Mandrake. He did Star Trek back in the day.
The Spectre.
He did the Spectre, which was good, but after a while it feels very muddy. Yeah. But getting this kind of mud in a sort of Halloween story, this character is kind of like
What do you mean by muddy? Exactly.
It may have been the inking.
Well, yeah, but
I don't know.
Whoever works with him seemed to know exactly what he wanted. see how like kind of darker this looks let me show you the first story. See how it doesn't look like that? It's like all kind of like today. But then you get to this other one and it's just like it's like someone inked with like marks a lot.
Like dark palette kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. And it's not in a Mike Mignola way where it's style. I mean, it obviously is stylized, but anyway, that's Mandrake's style, and it's not something I always liked. But in a spooky comic book or a superhero comic book where she's dealing with a ghost, a flaming ghost, a blazing ghost, it worked pretty well.
He did those Firestorm when Firestorm became the
did not like that
when he became the fire elemental, and he was all like,
he was like that Russian fire
dude.
I did not like that.
That was Tom Mandrake.
I would rather go back to the Pat Broderick days. I'm more of a Raphael Kayanin when he was penciling. That's who I like for Firestorm.
Another one, huh?
There's another one. This is a villains one. Star Wars again.
Yeah,
he's totally Star Wars. Yeah, but now we're going like main theme. Luke Skywalker stuff.
Yeah.
The story I'm going to point out here is the first one. Jeff told me it was really good, and I had to read it.
And I was right.
He was right. He was right. Mark Russell wrote it. Mark Russell usually tells a story that is somewhat socially conscious, and he did in this one. It's the Joker kind of gaining the system. And it's this is all told in kind of like interviews, and we're meeting these characters, and there's this father here, this priest. And he's talking about how he would never do that. And he's encouraging his congregation to not do it. And what is he talking about? He's talking about the Joker giving money to people that need health care that don't have insurance. All they have to do is run around and do something crazy on videotape.
Make a viral video.
Make a viral video and yell, "Balyusha, Balyusha," you know? And so people are like going around. At first, nobody did it. But then one person did it, and they got paid.
And then
everybody started doing it. It's like, then it's 100 people, then 200, and then it's 1,000, you know? And it's all
suddenly
about
the streets of Gotham are chaos with people doing crazy shit to try to get the Joker's attention to get their medical bills paid.
Yeah. It's great. There's like I said, there's some social commentary in it. It works really well. The one thing I will say is in a story, and it's expertly illustrated by Greg Capullo. Victor Bogdanovich. That's a joke. He does a very good Capullo. And again, you see how he's not like Tom Mandrake. you know, Glapion is also the inker who also does Capullo, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Anyway, that's a really good story. There's also a Deathstroke story, and there's also some reprints. It was a good. I like the villains. It was worth it. $5 just for that one, 18-page story.
It's worth it. Story.
Yeah, I like really all those covers.
Yeah, you do.
They look kind of classic,
Yeah,
they look good.
All right, let's get on to previews, everybody.
Well, what was this?
That was reviews.
That was reviews.
Oh, got it.
All right, guys. Previews. What's coming out tomorrow for a new comic book day?
X-Men.
X-Men's coming out tomorrow. Oh, yeah. We didn't talk about Powers of 10 came out last week. Number 6. I give it an A. What do you give it?
I give it an A.
All right. We give it an A. It made me want X-Men. And look, it's coming out this week. But we'll talk about that in a second. First up, we have
Garbage
Superman. Superman. This is a Kyle Baker cover. This is the alternate cover too. Superman.
Good Lord, that
smashes the Klan. It's written by Gene Yang, who's done American Born Chinese. He's also done all sorts. Superman.
Been in the store?
He's been in the store signing many times. Avatar. Something else he's done. So here you go. Gene Yang. It's drawn by Gurihara. Gurihara is the person who drew Gwenpool originally.
Right.
Or Heather Antos.
Now, is Gwenpool the basis for Rob's recent legal issues with Marvel that he's been tweeting about?
Yeah. In fact, he was even talking about Kevin Feige, if I'm not mistaken. No. He said Ike Perlman. I don't know who.
I don't know.
Rob's always doing something. He's always hilarious.
Doing something. But I heard that Gwenpool might be
comic books.
The basis of his right. He's not doing that.
He did. He released that Brigade that was like 5 years late.
Everyone loved it.
Major X. I saw. Oh, yeah,
Major talking about it today.
We are still talking about it today,
and it's very relevant in all of the X talk.
Yeah, that's right.
And Jonathan Hickman has.
He's going to use it up like crazy.
Use Major X coming soon. Coming soon.
And don't forget. Oh, yeah, forget it. Superman smashes the Klan. This is, I think it's for DC's All Ages books. And the concept of this is there was a radio play back in the 40s, I think. And it was basically all about Superman fighting Klan, Ku Klux Klan, KKK. And that sounds cool. And I like Gene Yang usually tells a really good story. Like I said, it's for kids or it's an all ages book. So it's going to have a little bit of an appeal for a younger reader, hopefully. But I think this is going to be something that's going to probably be talked about on your NPRs or your New York Times, literature section and stuff like that. And it should get some play in media. So make sure you come in and get this before it sells out, because I think it will. Metal Men #1, a 12-issue maxi series written by Dan Didio and drawn by Shane Davis. Dan Didio, what's he been doing recently?
Not much.
He's the guy that runs DC along with Jim Lee and Jeff Johns. Oops, no more Jeff Johns.
And I mean, what's Jim Lee doing? Like, really, who's running the show over there? The three of them are basically silent parties. Yeah, I haven't heard from any of them in a long time since they all got their promotions.
Yeah,
and it was like, these are the guys who are running the show now.
Well,
like,
Jim Lee was
Didio used to be always putting himself out there, being like, "I'm trying to kill Nightwing."
Yeah,
and I hate everybody. Like he was always
Rick
making
Grayson.
news.
Yeah.
But they've been very quiet, all three of them. I don't know.
Simpsons now.
Yeah, they're playing the Simpsons. The Simpsons.
Metal Men are an old superhero group.
They were at their best under Duncan Rouleau.
Oh, Duncan
Man
Rouleau.
of action.
He wrote and drew a Metal Men series. I can't remember, but I know I have the collection of it.
Oh my God, it's so good.
This is going to look good. I think Shane Davis has a good grip on the characters here.
Honestly, Metal Men, they were like one of my foundational comic books. Like, back when my exposure to comic books was my dad buying me issues at the like convenience store and bringing them home, and it was mostly Superman, Batman, and one of them was a Brave and the Bold with Batman and the Metal Men, and I was like, these dudes are amazing. And I've always been hooked on the Metal Men ever since, and Duncan Rouleau really sealed the deal. So I'll check this out. I'm interested in this.
Gold's always the leader, right?
Yeah.
And they added a woman
Gold
recently,
balls.
but I don't see her.
Gold balls?
No,
Is that what you said?
Not gold balls. I never say anything about gold balls.
Well,
all right, everybody, check this out.
Very important.
Tales from the Dark Multiverse. This is going to be one-shots that DC are going to put out, and it's basically the Dark Multiverse is like a different. It's like all right. So we have 52.
It's Scott Snyder's version of the multiverse.
So we have 52 universes, right? In our multiverse,
firmly established by Grant Morrison.
Right, exactly. But the Dark Multiverse is negative editions of those.
That's right.
So another negative 52, I assume.
Right then, no one ever.
Is there also a zero?
Don't make me hurt. It's I don't know what that would be. I don't know my math.
I think we're zero.
This is Nightfall. Hey, oh my gosh, Bane's not going to break Batman's back. It looks like Azrael is. Oh my gosh.
So that he can take over and become Batman?
Just like he did in the other one?
Sure, but
this one's written by Scott Snyder and Kyle Higgins. With Javier Fernandez doing the artwork, so it should look really good.
And also, Scott Snyder and Kyle Higgins, they work well together. Remember Gates of Gotham?
Oh, is that who did Gates of Gotham?
I think it was just Higgins, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
But remember.
They definitely work together. Maybe they both work together.
That wasn't a Tynion one? I think
No, that was Higgins.
One. Oops. Corrections, everybody. Let me get that corrections up. Oh, never mind. Yeah, Tales of the Dark Multiverse. Stay tuned for when Doomsday killed Lois Lane instead. Next up, we have Something is Killing the Children, #2. I rather enjoyed the first issue of it. It was spooky. And
spoilers welcome. What is it? What's killing them? What's killing the children?
I think it's a monster out in the woods. And this woman is carrying, or she has a kid. No, she meets a kid in a radio flyer in the first issue.
What?
Just kind of sitting on the side of the road, and she's wearing this bandana with the teeth.
And she's like, "You're bait."
Yeah. Oh, James Tynion wrote this, everybody. He's going to be the new Batman writer coming up. I like the art too. I thought it was pretty good. It told a neat story. And I don't know. I'm going to read this. Also, the variant cover is drawn by.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I am so sorry.
This guy. There's always something on this freaking show. Yeah. Let me tell you. Anyway, something is killing the children. There's always something. Oh, Once and Future #3 is coming out. Go figure. I'm finally getting the second issue on the same week. This is the third print. We didn't get it shipped. We didn't get the second print. We got the third print when #3 comes out. Once and Future is the Kieran Gillen take on King Arthur. It's a little different.
Yeah.
Oh, I liked it.
Have you read it?
I read the first issue.
In what way is it different?
I don't know. That was like 3 months ago now. I can't remember. Okay. I just remember there was a gimmick. I think the idea
take place in Arthurian times.
No. This is in the
more
future.
Modern.
It felt I was like, oh, this is just Camelot 3000.
Oh,
not in the 3000th year. But 2019. I remember there was a hook that I really enjoyed in it, and I just can't remember it right now. But I'm sure when I open the second issue, I'll figure it out. This was originally
probably like a Blues Traveler thing.
Right, exactly.
That hook brings you back.
This is originally a 5-part miniseries, but I think it was so successful that it's going to be an ongoing.
Wow.
Yeah.
From Boom?
From Boom.
Boom.
They need all the help they can get.
And I mean, what's Kieran Gillen doing these days besides?
Well, he just finished Wicked and Divine.
Done now.
Yeah.
But that was, like, other than that, he's only been doing these other little, like...
He did an Avatar book for a while, but
yeah,
who cares?
But I'm saying he hasn't done a major publisher.
Right.
In a while.
I think he doesn't want to work at Marvel. I think he's on that group that doesn't want to work over there.
That's everybody's in that group.
Yeah. Spider-Man #2, everybody. This is a 5-issue miniseries written by JJ and Henry Abrams with art by Sarah Pichelli. The first issue is all about Ben, Peter Parker's son, finding out that he has spider powers. And he also finds out that his father was Spider-Man when Aunt May gives Ben the costume. Hey, we got a new Spider-Man.
Ben Dunn?
Ooh.
No?
Not a boy. This is the first time with a boy.
No, that's true.
There you go.
So wait, this whole thing takes place future tense.
Yeah, I think alternate future, hopefully, because the things that happened to Mary Jane just wasn't cool.
Well, in Marvel, all futures are alternate.
That's right. Well, Peter Parker, that we all know and love, is an older man who is traveling and also is missing an arm.
Right.
So he doesn't go Spidey out.
Right. So this is not the same future Peter Parker from Spider-Girl.
Or renew your vows.
Right.
Oh. Why is he always marrying Mary Jane? Can't Gwen
He's in love with Mary Jane. She's his main thing.
His main thing. I like the first issue. I thought it was pretty good. It was kind of obviously decompressed. I assume that this whole 5-issue series could be in 3 issues, but Sarah Pichelli doesn't get out of bed for less than 5 issues.
Yeah.
Or 5 issues worth on Fantastic Four. Next up, we have X-Men #1. Everybody,
Can we talk about real quick though before we get to, like, when is Sarah Pichelli going to do a work of comics that is worthy of her talents? Because like
you like Miles Morales?
I mean, fine, but like that wasn't even DC Universe Miles Morales, was it?
Wait, what? DC Universe?
Wasn't she doing Ultimate Miles Morales?
Well, yeah, Ultimate Miles Morales. You're right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, when is she going to get a job that is worthy of her talents? A mainstream. When is she going to get on X-Men? Let her come on board this X-Men book. Like, we got Lionel Yu, who is great, and then I just heard we have RB Silva is going to be on this book. We should have Sarah Pichelli on this book.
I think maybe, just maybe, she can't do a team book quite as easily as she can a solo character. Todd McFarlane said it was very difficult for him to do a team book. And Jim Lee obviously excels at doing a team book. I mean, whether or not you like him, he can get the things done, I mean, he's always doing a team book.
Sure.
For the most part. I mean, even his Batmans with Jeff Loeb were like with a ton of characters, you know.
I agree.
Are you sweeping?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Sounds like you're doing lines or something.
I was getting my... Don't worry about it. No, just about it. It's my mouse pad, man. It's got stuff on it.
Anyhow, yeah, I agree. She's important, but I don't know. She should have done like, I don't know, when they reboot Iron Man, maybe she should do that. Yeah, I know.
Iron Man, who cares?
I don't know. Maybe she's done. Maybe there is nothing.
Oh, although who knows? Maybe I mean you go from Iron Man, David Marquez, to Superman, Batman.
Yeah, that was
which is
good.
where David Marquez is now.
Well, maybe she should move companies. You know, maybe she should do an Image title. She's got to have some money where she's saved up to where she can do her own thing. Maybe she doesn't want to.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. Maybe she just wants to, you know. I think she's really good. I don't think her Fantastic Four was up to snuff. And that cover on the last Spider-Man #1 that she did with Mary Jane on Spider-Man's lap as they're swinging wasn't very good.
Oh,
but
that was awkward looking.
But everybody says that. And I mean, agree. If everybody's saying it, it's got to be true, you know, on that one. Yeah. But I think she's a fine illustrator. She's probably one of my favorite women working in the industry as a penciler. But recently, and, you know, hey, man, maybe, you know, there can be like a million reasons why someone is, you know, not doing an entirely great job. And we know that Dan Slott was slow on his scripts and he was doing 2 books. So she started off with a double-sized issue. She had late scripts, and, you know, she probably was like, F this stuff. I'm just going to get this done and get out of here.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I don't blame her. She's all, oh, wait, JJ and Henry are doing this Spider-Man book. I got to free up my day job for this one.
Yeah, and I bet the pay for that,
oh, yeah, she'll
it's probably better.
Yeah, really. All right. So we've got X-Men #1 by Jonathan Hickman and Francis Lennell Yu. There's a ton of covers that go along with this. Look at this is another one. Which one do you like better? The one with this team? Huh? Or do you like the Art Germ one? Let me see. It's this one?
The Francis Yu.
Or do you like the Art Germ? Do you like ATN?
I'm not an Art Germ
green.
Guy.
Do you like the green? You like the lady? What about this one with this Mark Bagley one? Do you like that at all? It's got everybody.
It's too busy. And it doesn't
have
a title.
The Tom Muller, though. They gave Tom Muller, the guy who did all of the data pages, gave him his own cover.
They did. It's all red, basically.
That cover's just fine.
Not Mike Allred.
Not Mike Allred.
Not Mike Allred.
What was that?
That cover's fine. That one's nice.
It's fine.
Which cover's fine?
The first one right there.
Sure. The regular
You can't see it.
I can't see it, but I can imagine.
I read about 3/4, probably more than 3/4 of this book.
So the miniseries is over. Is that what you're saying?
They are all over.
And now it's
2 series that were 1 are over.
What was that, ATN?
How long is Hickman going to be on this?
We assume 2/3 years, maybe.
Hopefully for the rest of my life.
Yeah, the rest of my life would be great. I love this opening scene.
I mean, if my life only is going to last 2 years, I hope he's going to be on it for the rest of it.
Look at this. If it all starts in black, and then it's all Charles Xavier talking to Cyclops or Scott Summers as he's giving him ruby quartz glasses for the first time, and it's holding his powers in check.
Flashback.
I just love how he starts off with something that's just so about the character, and like in 4 panels, they're really doing a great job.
And it's like sets the tone that this is an issue that is about Scott Summers.
Yeah, it is.
This is Scott Summers showing you who he is now and the reality that he's living in.
There you go.
And what he has chosen for himself. And like this is what Krakoa is that mutants get to choose their own reality now.
For the first time.
And they're like not put into a position by humanity. They're able to dictate the terms of their existence for the first time ever. And like that is what this issue is about, of Scott Summers being like, this is my life that I'm choosing. This is not me being beholden to something. This is like, I believed in a thing and now that thing is real. And I'm going to live my dreams in it, even if I have to like fight and die and then get reborn out of a gold balls.
I'm a little confused, but isn't he dangerous? Isn't he dangerous to everybody, including other mutants?
Who?
Cyclops.
Cyclops? Well, I mean,
if he doesn't have ruby quartz in front of his eyes, then he's dangerous to every mutant who is not related to him, because his brothers are immune to his mutant power.
I got a question.
That's convenient.
I got a question. So check this out, ATN. Yeah. There are these characters from previous stories that really were kind of lame. Okay. But Hickman goes and he just dabbles with them a little bit. And there's this guy named
Are you talking about Vulcan? Oh, you're talking about Gold Balls.
Gold Balls is the guy that shot gold balls.
Is that really his name?
Of gold balls. And sometimes he'd scream, "Gold balls!"
That's his mutant name.
Okay. No,
every mutant gets to choose their mutant name, and you don't get to judge that.
So he was lame, okay? But when we found out that he wasn't shooting gold balls, he was shooting gold eggs. That will expire after a little while.
Was he looking for a mate?
No. Check this out. But if you encode mutant DNA provided by Mr. Sinister, formerly provided by Charles Xavier, and then he takes the consciousness of these things and he blah, 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 blah. And then you have Proteus, blah, 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 blah. You get a mutant that just died. So my question is this.
What?
Why can't they fix Cyclops?
What?
Talking about? They did fix it.
He can't see without the ruby quartz still.
They just got to clone his brothers
being dead.
Yeah. But why don't you just fix him all the way and make it so he can see?
That's not what they're about. They're not about altering people. They're
unless you're using mutant drugs, then you're being altered.
That's for humans.
Ooh. Can we get those?
Yeah, we can. And if your country doesn't want to provide the experience, you can get the Marauders to bring them to you.
Well, you're lucky that
I sign up?
America, you're good. America has recognized the mutant nation of Krakoa.
Excellent. Where's my mutant drug?
Access to the mutant drugs that should rid you of any mental health illness.
I gotta go check the mail. Hang on.
All right, you do that. Everybody else, check this scene out. We're only 3 pages in, so don't get crazy. We have Storm and Cyclops raiding this. What are they called? Orcus?
Orcus.
Like one of their last main headquarters.
On Earth.
On Earth.
Not counting the one that's still revolving around the sun.
Yeah, exactly. You've seen that. Don't worry about it. Anyhow, Cyclops saves Storm from behind. And I like what he says here. Well, she was going to be attacked from behind.
Terminology.
Anyway.
Saved her.
I like this. He says right here, "I'm always careful, Storm. It's part of my charm." Also, Magneto comes in, and then he has one of the most baller lines ever in a book. And that's after Submariner had one a couple issues ago. And Jonathan Hickman really gets in the minds of these characters. And I think he does a really good job making you like the characters, even if you were kind of on the fence about them.
What did he say, dude?
No,
come on. You can't be like baller line here and then brush past it. What was it?
Oh,
I'm with him.
All right, I'll tell you.
Say the baller line.
All right, very good. So Magneto comes, he breaks in from above. Everybody's like looking up above. And he's coming in right here, and he's like tearing open the ceiling. And here's what he says. He says, Polaris, that's his daughter. I know that I can be at times overly demanding, but am I asking too much of a flawed world if I want no rubble and certainly no rabble beneath my feet when they touch the ground?
And then she's like, smashes
no problem
on the ground.
Yeah, exactly. Great stuff. That's just the very beginning. And then we have like a Summers. That's the Summers, the Scott Summers, Cable, Vulcan, Jean Grey, Havoc, Wolverine for some reason, Rachel, Cyclops' dad. They're all there with the Starjammers, and they're just having a good old cookout.
Everybody's got a cool name except Rachel.
For some, her name is Prestige.
Yeah, she's Prestige.
Her real name is Prestige.
Her mutant name.
Yeah, her mutant name. She chose
her real mutant name.
Exactly.
Mutants' real names are Rachel. Their chosen names. Yeah,
there's a couple.
Although technically, the Wolverine's name was not chosen by him, but by the Canadian government. So, like, that's kind of a shitty mutant name, considering Wolverine? That it was given to him, just like his.
No,
human
he
name.
Was. He was
name.
Weapon X, right?
I guess,
or Weapon 10.
You're not supposed to pick your own nickname, man.
No,
but
not
you're
nickname.
supposed to.
This is like we're talking like this is important stuff.
Yeah, man. Your mutant name, like they say
this
that
is like you had a slave name, and now you don't.
In front of humans, you don't use your shitty human name in front of humans. You only use each other's mutant names.
It's not code names; it's mutant names.
Yeah,
a little bit different. I'm not trying. I am outing myself as a mutant by calling myself hairballs.
Gold balls.
Gold balls. All right, last but not least, everybody, Gideon Falls is back.
That looks painful.
Yeah, this is the alternate cover. Issue 17. I just read issue 16 earlier today, and there's going to be a trade collecting the last story arc, which leads up to 16. And then 17 is the new issue. And boy, was there a revelation in the last issue I could not believe. Basically, Norton, the guy who's been seeing the shrink all this time and going around and picking up wood and nails, trying to build the barn, he's not exactly who we thought he was.
We thought he was Norton, right?
We thought he was Norton, but he's not Norton. He's actually the brother of the cop in the story. And that's I can't wait to find out what happens. I guess that was a little bit of a spoiler. I don't usually do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's a good one, Bones.
I'm trying to excite you. Basically, and oh man, it was again. He's never said anything about Twin Peaks when he's doing this book. But holy cow, the last issue was so much like Twin Peaks. Well, I thought that there was going to be Dale Cooper smashing his head at the mirror at the end of that episode.
When the book first started, he did talk a little bit about Twin Peaks, he did, like, he drew the cover illustration for the Blue Rose magazine.
He was doing that, I'll agree, but I don't think outside of that he was not comparing it.
So not outside of the Twin Peaks fandom.
Right.
Like within the Twin Peaks fandom, he was definitely had done multiple interviews where he talked about the show.
He loves the show. To Twin Peaks. And yeah, exactly. He wasn't stupid concerning Gideon Falls like Hickman was concerning that 15 deaths or lives of that whatever character.
I guess. Whatever. Like, that's so absurd, though, because, like...
It got brought up again. Rob Liefeld. That's why.
But, like...
he is a shit stirrer, let me tell you.
Yeah, he's just desperate for attention.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. 200%. The thing about Claire, whatever, like, there was...
I don't know
Groundhog Day before that.
Groundhog Day.
There was
Ichabod Crane.
Whatever that It's that Russian dude.
Yakov Smirnov?
No. You Strosky. I can't remember now. OU something.
What are we talking
anyway,
about here?
He wrote a story that was based on Friedrich Nietzsche's eternal recurrence. That was basically a guy who had to continually live his life over and over and try to, quote unquote, get it right, but found it impossible to ever make enough changes to get it right because like certain things were inevitable.
Yep.
And that was in like 1920 something. So like, you know, this is not a new idea. Like this is not a new, and that was based on a theory of Nietzsche's that was already 50 years old at that point. So like,
what if you're the last person that hasn't made it to enlightenment and everybody else has?
Don't worry, man. Don't worry.
What would Earth be? What if that was my story idea? What if the guy, a man, of course, is just walking Earth, and it's kind of like the end of that Twilight Zone where the guy like loses his glasses, except he wakes up.
Son of a bitch.
Except this guy wakes up and like there's nobody else around, you know, and he's kind of like searching and trying to figure out why, and you know, ultimately it's because he's just has never been able to climb up that ladder properly. It's always falling down another rung.
I don't think he would be alone, man. I think like one or two might disappear someday, but certainly not the whole population.
You remember that Twilight Zone with the people?
I do.
In the cylinder?
No, I don't.
Oh, they suck.
I didn't.
Anybody remember that one?
A lot of Twilight Zone talk.
Oh, sorry. I won't do that.
Hey, put up a banner.
Banner, yeah. Let me put up a
banner,
everybody.
Twilight Zone.
How about announcements?
Ooh.
I'm gonna share screen this one.
We got an X-Men sale coming.
We got an X-Men sale starting tomorrow.
Just on X-Men stuff?
Yeah, just on X-Men stuff.
It's X-Men celebration.
All right, sorry guys.
Get excited.
Let me get this right. Sorry guys. All right, boom. I know it's very busy.
Tell your friends.
I'm gonna go over this with you. It's all you have to do is buy X-Men #1.
Boom.
Any cover.
Why would you not
Hickman,
do that anyway?
Why?
Because you're going to do it. It's so you got to do it.
Right, so you can get 20% off our graphic novels that are X-Men. That would include Avengers versus X-Men, anything with Wolverine in it, Excalibur, New Mutants, you know, that kind of stuff.
Onslaught,
yeah, exactly. You also get 30% off back issues. Again, Alpha Flight is cool. New Mutants,
Extinction
cool.
Agenda.
Exactly.
I'm looking at it right now.
I even have a shelf full of more X-Men key storylines up at the front of the store. And then, last but not least, we are going to have a 10% sale off our X-Men back counter books. That's anything over $26. All you have to do is buy X-Men issue #1, and you can get 10% off. And this is including the Dane catalog. So if you want to buy an $8,500 comic book and get a 10% discount, you can get X-Men #1. I think I priced that right. He has X-Men #2, 3, 4, 5.
Think about that though. 10% of 8,500. That ain't nothing. And
it all good. Yeah.
No, I'm just curious. What's tax there?
Dane will be paying me for tax.
Okay. All right,
I don't know, but
you don't know your tax rate in the state of California?
Yeah, well, everybody here knows
the state of California. It's the
city of Berkeley,
locality of Berkeley. Yeah, exactly.
The principality.
9.75, I believe, or maybe 9.5 right now.
Now that we've done that,
so 10%.
Another announcement: the Patreon page is up and active. We actually had a customer tweet that we had it up, and we already have one patron. We are at $9 a month.
Awesome.
So
that's great.
I didn't check who it was. I'm a little embarrassed, because e-begging is not really something I'm super into.
No, but saying thank you is awesome.
Yeah. I totally appreciate it.
Thank you, patron.
I'm looking to get people to help support us here at the show. That's the concept behind the patron, because or the Patreon. I don't want to we're doing something that's a little bit creative in doing this show. So we are providing a service that's just not helping me keep the store alive. But the reality of the fact is dude's driving customers away with his accordion right now.
You ain't got any customers this hour.
Then why is he playing outside the store?
Driving me away right now.
He's bored. He's trying to drum up his own customers. Man, that man needs some of that blue cocaine.
This is a new guy. Look, hey, I'm always open to a new busker.
Yeah.
But this is well past hours of serviceable, but you're not going to make any money. You're beyond.
Maybe the restaurant crowd is leaving. I don't know.
Yeah, he's hoping for that.
But hey, here's what I want. I want him to overtake the guy who plays 4 songs classical guitar style.
It will be in just a little bit.
That'll be great.
Do you remember the guy that played the really dissonant stringed and
the cling clong?
Yeah.
I hated that guy.
He's still around.
Yeah, the one that isn't really anything other than he has an electric. You mean that? Oh no, I'm thinking
it's
of the other guy.
It's like a dulcimer or something like that. You're thinking about.
It's mostly just the reverb. He's
yes, that's the one. I hate that guy.
Yeah,
I'm so happy he's not here.
Yeah,
the one string guy.
Also, don't worry.
The
one string guy's got to be dead. He's got to be dead by now. It's been years since I've seen that guy. He's got to be dead. He was old.
Did you guys know he was considered a master in the old world? I mean, he was so famous. They were throwing underwear in front of him like flower petals as he walked.
How old of a world are we talking about?
The old world, bro.
Is it called a shimmy?
Was he a time traveler? Did he get deposited here from thousands of years ago when the first musical note was invented?
He was
the master of it. Yeah,
two of them.
In 10,000 BC, he was.
Yeah. Hey, so I have a question for you guys though, because I missed the show last week. Yep.
Yes.
You sure did.
Oh God, we didn't have any music play in the middle, did we?
Did you guys?
At no time did music play, right?
Did you guys talk about the grading of those comics? And did you compare Jeff's previews to what? So he was guessing low.
You can go back and watch that. And everyone
gonna go back.
Can go back and watch that.
He had one. So you got to realize that these comic books were increased in grade theoretically because they were pressed.
Right.
Okay.
That's right. So we discussed the process of whether or not we can trust the corporation.
All right. So,
or whether the $60 that you pay to have it pressed resulted $60 more of.
There's a conflict of interest there for sure. But
no question.
It can be, but I'll have you know.
But it always results in a higher grade than at least 1 point, a full point usually.
That's a lot too. That's a lot.
Based on what Jeff.
All right, so listen up.
Jeff's been very accurate though.
Yes, agreed.
We had Reggie come into our store, and he actually purchased 2 of Dane's X-Men comic books.
Reggie.
And it's Reggie Collects if you want to find him on YouTube. Nice. Glitter and Duct Tape is there sometimes, I do believe. And he said that, you kind of think it may, but he's pressed his own stuff and not had CGC do it, and they've come back in nice grades.
Yeah, sure. So, it's not like miracle technology. It's not like Apple made it.
There's no control. And, again, there's probably a series of graders there that have their own, criteria sometimes.
Well, we're going to start getting some interesting results next week.
Yeah, that's right, because I personally ordered a pressing machine.
Oh.
And I am going to be practicing and doing that. And hopefully, if we can do it, we can offer that as a service also.
Yeah, but you just charge a ton less and you'll be great.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take much if I got people that wanted to get their stuff pressed, it doesn't take much for the machine to pay for itself. And then we can get another one and do more and stuff like that. And if we increase the value of the comics that we're sending out there, it helps. And it's also cheaper in the long run. Jeffrey was only off really on the giant-sized X-Men.
That was first by appearance by 1.5. Is that right?
Yeah,
that's right. First Krakoa.
Yeah, that came back in 8.5, and I think Jeff thought it was like a 7.
Oh man, I don't have my.
So he was like a grade or a grade and a half off.
But just maybe, I mean, it's possible that they just don't see that many good giant size.
Well, that's not supposed to play a thing.
6. No, it ended up with an 8.5.
Yeah. Well,
so he's 2.5 points low.
That was a tough one for him. That's a.
But that's also okay. So that's also before grading, before pressing.
Right? Okay, so still 2.5 points. That's huge. That's a big difference. But he was under, not over, and that to me is very important.
No. But the thing is that if we are grading comic books for you to buy from our store, and we are grading them under, and we say they're a 9.6, then it's just going to be better for you.
That's the catch, though, is you have to develop that reputation as being accurate and very conservative, right?
Yeah.
And then as long as people are like, "Hey, I can get a good deal."
Underneath, if we err underneath what the grade is, it's still always better for the consumer.
Yeah,
you should be.
They can get a deal.
Exactly.
You should be cataloging all of this, though.
Yes, you should be cataloging it. Absolutely.
So that you have a
catalog.
You have a thing where you can be like, look, here are the grades that would like. This is how we've graded it. This is how it's come back.
Yes,
and you build some sort of documentation on that.
There is documentation, obviously, but we have to send it out. We send it out with the comic books.
You don't send out your grade.
You have to pre-grade it. Yeah, you have to, because what you grade it at determines what you are paying them.
What?
You have to grade it yourself to determine what you are going to pay them.
Not only this.
Grade it. Yeah. Oh, it's a full scam.
We also have.
That's weird.
You also have to pay insurance on the things that you're sending away from the store.
Yeah, that makes sense, though.
So you have to grade it to do that also.
You have to establish,
and not only that, if
potential value.
Anybody
create your own brand
anybody can send their comics out to get graded by CGC.
Yeah,
it's not faster for you to get it done rather than us get it done. The only time it gets faster is when
it's something really good.
It's really expensive. Exactly. So the only time a comic store is required to do it is when the item costs $3,000 or more.
Oh, that's all.
So they want to make sure that a comic store is dealing with it coming over.
Right. The end item might potentially be worth $3,000 or more. And so that is always based on the grading that's being done on the back end by the comic store.
And we do grading for $100 an hour also. Let me get that announcement back up.
How long does it take you to grade a book, man?
Well, if you grade a book, what you're doing is... So, all right, a comic book comes in the store, a stack of comic books. They're all 90s comic books. And, maybe one of them is a $20 book and everything else is nothing.
That's
you're going through it and you're looking. You pull the one comic out that's worth money and you look at it, you flip through the pages and you're like, all right, this is a near mint book. I'm going to assume that all this other crap is near mint also, right?
Based on that
that's when I'm buying that kind of junk. But when I'm grading something, And especially like, an older book, and, it's important that the first appearance of Wolverine has the coupon that's been taken out of so many comic books. You got to make sure you page through everything.
Yeah, of course.
And in doing that, and in grading, and then making notes on what the grade is and why it's that grade, it takes a long time to do. Like you probably do 6 or 8 books, maybe 10 an hour. But if you have a really expensive collection and you're going to get them, insured or something like that, it's not that expensive.
Well, I agree with Jeff. I think you should be keeping track of it. I think you should be making this stuff available to prospective customers, and I think you should kind of push that agenda,
well, I
as
think
it were.
The next ones that we're sending out, we're getting a little ballsier with our grades.
I don't think you should change anything. Jeff does a good job. He does a good job.
I think you were right, though. A 6 to 8.5 is a big difference, and
it is.
You don't want to be that far off.
Assume 1 point for the pressing, so it's 1.5 off, right? And he was down. He was low. So yeah, maybe he needs to brush up. But over time, what you'll do is you'll take an average of his error, basically, right? And every time he does a book, the error will get smaller.
That's an outlier book. That's a
That's
a really special book.
Also.
Giant Size X-Men #1 is how I don't know how
ultimately
off was he
the outliers
X-Men
get thrown out, right? When you're doing statistics, you don't deal with the ones that are really far afield. You deal with averages.
Right, so that's a crazy book that is very highly sought after.
It's thick. It's almost perfect spine, like you hate.
So
except it has staples, and they almost always poke out of the book.
Right.
And it's hard, and there's a lot of roll in those books.
In a high grade often. So it can throw a grader off the curve.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you see it I've never seen one that looks this good.
Well, as far as
that will bump it up.
As far as I have seen,
you're not going exactly by the book. You're going by I've never seen a Giant Size X-Men #1 look this good before.
That should not affect the grade, though.
No, it shouldn't. But these are human beings who are doing the grading. This is not computer graded or something. These are just people, and so you have to take that into account.
Well, I don't think Jeff should be taking that stuff into account. Just because a book is uncommon does not mean it gets a higher grade, right?
Right.
No, agreed. It shouldn't.
He's doing a good job.
It maybe does.
He's doing a good job.
I know. I'm saying Jeff is doing a great job.
Yes.
I mean,
bravis, my brother.
I hope he's not, I hope he's not in this.
I'll tell you
chat.
what.
I hope he's not watching.
He's just masturbating to this.
Jeff, I want you on Thursday. Don't come into work, okay?
You're fired.
No, you're covered. I got you. In fact, you know what? Take the whole weekend off. I'm gonna let you.
Wasn't that already?
Yeah, that's already gonna happen. Another announcement. I'm not in tomorrow, but I'll be in all weekend long
for the rest of the year.
Oh my God, I don't know. Think about it. Yeah, Kyle is quitting. He's moving to Texas, the jerk.
He's quitting California.
Where's he going?
He's quitting California to go to Planet Houston.
What's in Houston?
His lady got a job that's really, really awesome. And we're going to lose him.
Well, good luck to him.
Our internet sales, and he enlightened me.
Yeah.
In a way I didn't think I could be enlightened.
Uh-oh.
By a child who loves old shit.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's awesome when you can get revitalized in things that you always liked and someone that's getting into it, but it's not always something that happens. Oh, it's dynamite in here right now.
Oh boy. Oh no.
Well, everybody, like I said, visit our Patreon page. It's fantastic.
Put the link in the make the link your banner.
I wish I would have done that. I didn't.
It's too late.
It's too late. We'll do it next time.
We're circling.
We're going to have a big X-Men
hole.
sale. All you have to do is buy X-Men #1, and I am going to be in on Thursday, not Wednesday. Ooh. Right. And one last thing. I am now on a god damn it.
Another podcast.
I'm on another podcast, but it's
about
not on
wrestling.
Atari Press this time.
You had
so
it.
What the deal is that this wrestling council is what we're called. Is what, you don't like that? No, I love it. We're the council, baby.
Like the Council of Reeds.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We go to different channels on YouTube, and this one is going to be on the S&B network, which is on YouTube, like I said.
That's Matt.
Yeah, that's Matt Boogie
Matt
Bentley. He does the Comic Cast podcast, also on YouTube. I found him on iTunes back in the day when there was an iTunes.
iTunes.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know, it was something about these Southern boys talking about comic books that I really enjoyed. I was like, whoa, wow, they're totally like, and the whole network has like a bunch of different ones. The Comic Book Bullies is excellent, but I haven't listened to them in a while. Anyhow,
high praise, man. High praise.
Yeah, well,
I don't.
The problem is like when you do these programs, and then when you're listening to programs, a lot of the other ones like kind of fall down the way, down the way, and we're just throwing our voice into the ether that's out there right now.
Dude, someday we're none of us gonna have jobs, so you might as well be busy.
Well, so follow me if you like wrestling at all. Actually. Follow Yule Carter. That's me.
Did you just dox yourself?
No, I've been doing that for a while.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did, though.
Let me do this. Hold on a sec.
You might as well put your mailing address up there.
Yule Carter on YouTube, because I am going to be hosting the 4th episode. The 3rd episode. Yeah, exactly.
That's smart.
Pretty excited
like
about
the 4 horsemen.
It's round robin.
Exactly.
It's round robin.
2, 3, 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
4. So it goes to Atari Press.
Are you Arn Anderson?
I would like to be the enforcer. I would like that a lot. I'm probably more of an Ole Anderson now.
Okay, that's fair.
Anyway, to anybody that knows what I'm talking about, that is the kind of stuff you're going to get on the Wrestling Council from me. And we're going to be talking about Halloween Havoc 97. Oh, let me tell you, it goes downhill the minute Goldberg shows up. And I have a feeling that the people in chat and the people on the show are going to be really psyched for the Goldberg stuff. But I'm going to be the voice of reason. So if you at all like wrestling, you should check out the S&B Network. And definitely follow Yule Carter. That's me. And let me say goodnight. Let me do this.
I'm more of a Gold Dust.
Gold Dust is better.
Gold Dust.
I love his Piper feud when they did the whole Bronco chase scene.
That was amazing. Amazing.
There was some mild homophobia going on in there. So it's kind of rough to watch it, and really like it. But as far as like a fight is concerned, it was really well done. I don't usually like that street stuff, but it was really well done. Anyhow, this is not a comic or a wrestling.
This is not a Gold Dust
show.
Podcast.
This is a comic book show from an owner, me, Yule Carter, of a comic book store, and Jeff and ATN over here.
Yep,
just like that. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I hope you had fun. And leave a comment and like the show if you did at all. See you later. Bye.
Good night.
Bye. Good night.